would like to use two examples, right?
Okay.
So there's the framework that we use at Vega and the way that we train our students. And then it's very similar to what I do, let's say, for coaching and just my approach to working with people. And just it latches with our personal journey that I've gone through. So my personal insight has almost reaffirmed why it matters to kind of follow a process of that kind. So I'm going to first start with at Vega, we believe in concept, right? It's about the concept must drive it, but you cannot get to concept unless it's based on an insight or insights that you've developed. And it's the hardest thing to crack is to know how to get to genuine insight. Not I have found, it's the deeper insight that drives it. So that real human truth, if you will. So our process is very much about encouraging our students to go through, and I almost want to use like inventive ways of doing research. It goes a little bit beyond like your desktop and your primary and so forth and so forth. We use things like design thinking and other methodologies to go in some quite creative ways of doing research to get to the point of discovering what's the real insight behind it. And at the end, you're working with humans here, and humans are complex. But if you observe people and if you tune into people and you listen to people, you can genuinely develop a deeper insight of what's the real driver here. And that insight at the end drives or is the motivation for what is the overarching concept, the kind of narrative that holds it together. And then the rest follows. Then you can go, why do you do what you need to do? And informs the possible how. Then the imagination and the creativity can take over and just go, let's go wild and see how do we, bring this insight to life, or what's the message you want to deliver. And then on the side where I do coaching. So if I look at my personal story, my real transformation happened because of discovery, because of going into some really intense self-searching and some deep awareness building and just going through a reflective process. And with that awareness, I developed insight. I got to understand. And that understanding was the reason for why I knew I needed to change and why I need to change and how I can change. And I do that in coaching too. So it's the same pattern almost. It's the same process. It's about becoming more aware. When you become more aware, you develop insight. If you develop insight, you know why you need to change, and then the change can happen because now there's reason to change. And then you just build new habits, new ways of doing, which then transforms the being. So then you become a different person.